Bitcoin just made a new all-time high. Ethereum also made a new all-time high against USD after making an all-time high just yesterday. There's been a sea of red across altcoins on their Bitcoin pairs, but Litecoin and XRP seem to be swimming against the tide. Let's take a look at all four charts and see what's coming next. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of Wall Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to my channel and go ahead and hit that like button right down below. As I mentioned before, Bitcoin is absolutely ripping again, breaking out of a consolidation that it seems it's been in since Jesus was alive and walking the earth. Because we all know that in crypto, even a few weeks feels like a few years, but patience does pay off as Bitcoin has made another all-time high. Ethereum has done the same. And as I mentioned, Litecoin and XRP are swimming against a tide and keeping up with Bitcoin and still rising. Very nice to see. Let's take a look at the charts and see what is likely coming next. Now, first, I have a chart that I posted all the way back at the beginning of February. You can see there was a huge wick up when Elon Musk added Bitcoin, hashtag Bitcoin to be exact, to his Twitter profile. Then price dropped and formed this massive bull flag. Then Tesla bought 1.5 billion, breaking out of this bull flag for good. Well, the target of that bull flag was around $63,000. Let's advance this chart and see where we are just over 2 months later. Boom. We can see it right here. We just hit the target, 63,445, almost to the dollar as I am posting this. As I said, it took over 2 months. This is the kind of target that would take probably years on legacy markets, but in Bitcoin, 2 months seems like a long time. But here we are. That trade is currently closed, so let's see what we can look for on another trade. But wow, what an absolutely massive move. As you can see, I've posted this trading range that we've been in all the way back since March 13th, 1 month ago. 1 month of absolute sideways chop and consolidation. Well, we saw the drop only about a week ago, which came right here to the EQ. A lot of panic, but as I pointed out that time, we were hitting this line of descending resistance, testing a support. Also the EQ, that's this dashed line, the equilibrium. It's the 50% of the trading range as support, which ultimately you assume will hold, and it did. And now we have a strong move above the range. I was a bit cautious yesterday with all these wicks up and this slightly ugly candle. It seemed that sellers were trying to take control, but ultimately bulls were too strong and treated those bears like they were running the bulls in Pamplona. Now, what we want to see here is a strong close above this range, above that previous all-time high. That would be a real signal that this is going to continue back into price discovery. But right now, I mean, this is absolutely massive. We almost have as much volume today at 9:30 a.m., which is when I'm recording this, the Eastern Standard Time, as we had in any of the past 4 or 5 days. And I expect that to continue. We just definitely want to see that close above, because a wick above and a close below could give us a bit of a bearish SFP. Now you can get a better look on the 4-hour chart. This descending line's a little more accurate. Had almost a perfect retest of that in demand, which was also at the 200 MA, popped back above the 50 MA, which ultimately held a support. And we do have a 4-hour close now, officially above that range. That's a close at a new all-time high on the 4-hour chart. So technically, the kind of trade you'd be looking for here is a retest of this area, the previous all-time high, and then continuation upward. That's a really, really classic textbook trade, something like that. Now, as you know, when you're trading these, you don't put it exactly on the line. You spread orders above, below, right at the line so that you catch it. You might not fill a full position, but you also don't want to get front run by whales who, you know, put their orders right here to make sure that you don't fill exactly on the line. Kind of like with your stop losses, right? You don't put them in the most obvious place. You give them a bit of room to breathe. So that is the trade that I would be looking for on Bitcoin now if you miss this move. If it does break down into the range, I'd be looking for something right around 60,000 as a retest of support and this area of demand where this huge move exited from. Let's take a look at Ethereum on the USD pair. Absolutely beautiful. Looking very similar to Bitcoin, right? Broke out of a range, made a new all-time high, and did it on strength on the 4-hour chart. Even stronger than Bitcoin, it would look like. Really, this is what we call Marubozu candle. No wick on the bottom, no wick on the top, just pure price appreciation throughout the entire 4-hour candle from open to close. Absolutely massive with increased volume. So once again, much like the Bitcoin pair, you're looking for this area as a retest for continuation and to head up. Really hard to post any other trade ideas when you're in price discovery because there's no levels above and no resistance above to break. So really you're either going to buy here if you're confident, not what I would do. I'm willing to miss a trade if it doesn't come to me, but willing to buy that retest as support. It's a previous all-time high. Price should theoretically, not always, come back down here. Now this is Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair. As you can see, it's actually holding pretty strong against Bitcoin. I do have the slight concern of this slight bearish divergence that we had here, which just basically almost tapped overbought, but we've been going sideways since, and it's also likely that right now we could have potential hidden bullish divergence, which would replace that bear div and effectively make it invalid. We'd be looking for a higher low here on price and a lower low on the RSI. That is not confirmed yet, but we did see the exact same thing yesterday on Bitcoin. We saw a bear div replaced by a hidden bullish divergence, which is a signal of continuation. And then we went up. Ultimately, if you're trading on the Bitcoin pair now, I would say you want to get back above these highs here and head up, buy it on the retest, or you could be looking for a drop down to here if it happens, although I would not necessarily be expecting that. It's showing quite a bit of strength. Now let's take a quick look at Litecoin on the USD pair. Nothing has changed for me here. Beautiful bull pennant breakout retest, which I talked about before, with a target of roughly $347. I still think that we absolutely should be going there. The only slight concern that I have would be that we have slightly diminishing volume on this move up. And if we take a look deeper, I think we do have a bit of bearish divergence, but like Ethereum could be replaced with a hidden bull div. So no need to really look at that. I think one way or another, could be over here, could be right here, could be here. I think we do get to that target, and likely if the bull market continues, we go above. On the Bitcoin pair, still price appreciation, higher highs, higher lows, all the way up. Nothing really to be too scared of here. Lots of volume. I think that Litecoin just kind of generally looks good. Again, that was drawn on the daily chart, which is why those tops did not line up. But here we are on the daily. If we do see a drop on a bit of bearish divergence, I would say that you should be looking for something in this area if it does not hold this support right here. This is strong demand, the area that this candle exited out of to the upside. Why is that demand? Because if you were trying to buy here and you didn't, you missed it. That means you might still have orders here, be looking to buy. That's the idea behind demand. Very, very simple. And finally, let's take a look at Ripple, which continues to ripple upwards. Unbelievable. Now, I have a theory as to why this is happening. At first, I was thinking, hey, XRP is going up, but we'll see the same level of disappointment that we saw before. You know, we'll see these huge tranches of XRP being sent from the Ripple treasury over to exchanges to dump on the very people who believe in the coin. But guess what? Ripple is now being scrutinized by the SEC for those very practices and probably can't send any supply to the market to sell. It's amazing what happens when the company is not selling and those coins are removed from the supply. You have tons of demand, FOMO, and no huge players selling into it. So I believe that that's why we're seeing this continued strength, and it could continue to keep going if the FOMO remains. But you can see the areas that I'm still interested in. To me right now, any dip on XRP is probably for buying. Yeah, maybe this one right here around 136. But man, if it drops all the way down to here around 79 cents, like if Bitcoin blasts off 10,000 bucks or something and XRP gets a bit destroyed, I would look at it there. But this still looks massive on the XRP Bitcoin pair too. It's absolutely destroying even Bitcoin on its bullish move. I would just be a bit careful and cautious just in case this does end up confirming a bit of bearish divergence here, but nothing to worry about for now. Huge volume in general, increasing overall the volume here in consolidation and continuing up. I have no idea where this lands. It could already have topped, but like I said, it seems the supply has been removed off the market and there's a lot of interest in trading XRP. For now, we are continuing to be in a bull market across the board. If you are trading USD pairs, I would say buy dips, but just always be cautious that if Bitcoin does pull that absolutely huge move, that's where you want to be. You don't want to be sitting in these altcoins losing Bitcoin while you tread water or stay even in USD. It's the old meme in the crypto community: down in Bitcoin, even in USD. That's everything that I'm looking at on these 4 pairs for now. Once again, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and read everything in the description. I've got my amazing sponsor Femex down there and all the information that you need to know about my newsletter. Until tomorrow, peace.